Yeah, Priyanka, can you summarize what we have done in the last class?
Uh, Sir, last class I had network issues, sir. So I couldn't attend properly. I couldn't hear your voice, sir.
Okay, then you are the perfect candidate for summarizing. Yeah, please do summarize.
Sir, here about energy band, sir.
Yeah, okay. I will change the slide. What are the slides I have used in the last class? I mean, what are the concept you are aware in that particular slide? You have to share with your friends. Okay. If anything I wanted to add, I will add, or even anyone can add a points to that particular slide after Priyanka. Okay. Yeah. Please, Priyanka, start.
Uh, Sir, I don't remember, sir.
Anyway, the slide is in front of you only, right?
Is
The
here?
information is in front of you only. Just summarize. I will change the slides. What the
Okay.
information you learn from this slide and what the information you are going to learn from the next slide. Just only those things you tell me. Don't discuss very detailedly because of already I have spent 2 hours for single topic. Just within 5 minutes you have to do a summarize.
Okay. It is the orbital model of a silicon atom, sir.
Okay.
And it has a 10 core electrons.
10 or 14.
Sorry, 14, sir.
Mm.
Uh, and then and it has a four valence electrons.
That 10 core electron means the first orbit consisting of an 2, second orbit consisting of an totally 8 electron. 8 plus 2 is 10. That 10 electron is not involving in hybridization process. When you are bringing the two atom very nearer, only the valence electron it will be interacting with the neighbor atom. So only this first 10 atom we are called as an core electrons. The remaining 4 it will be staying in the third orbit. That orbit only we are called as an valence shell. What are the electron it will be present in that particular shell? That electron only we are called as an valence electron.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, this all the information. Just actually here what we have discussed means for the silicon, how many electrons are there, how the 14 electrons it will be distributed out of those orbital, which is the valence shell. In the valence shell, how many electrons are there? For valence stabilization, how many electron we required? Unfortunately, in the silicon, how many electrons are there in the valence shell? This informations we gather from the this slide, first slide. Okay, the same way we are continuing with the second slide. Can you tell me what we got from this slide? What this slide it indicates?
The
The
energy
first
level
is,
is
yeah,
increasing.
yeah, the first slide it will be shows how many orbitals are there. In this diagram, we are not able to identify how many suborbitals are there in the first orbit or second orbit in the third orbit, something like that. But here clearly you can identify how many suborbitals is there. In the first orbit consisting of an only one orbital, second orbit consisting of an two suborbital, the third orbital consisting of an three suborbital. Correct. So with regards how the energy distributions will be. Okay, compared to 1s and 3p, which electron having an higher energy. This informations we was discussed with the help of and the second slide. Okay, next we move to the very main or major concept for energy band, LCAO, linear combination of atomic model. First we learn or first we give the justification for the title. What is linear combination and what is atomic orbital? First we define these two things. After defining these two things, then we enter into the discussion of the actual concept. When you are coming very near to the two hydrogen atom, what are the process it will be happen? That process we are categorizing into and two types. One is bonding formation, the another one is the anti-bonding formation. How the bonding it will be forming and how the anti-bonding it will be forming, and what is the nodal plane, what is the definition of that, and in the bonding as well as in the anti-bonding, where electron density it will be high and where the electron energy it will be high. About these things we was discussed in the this particular slide. Okay, so
Yes.
then with the knowledge of this information, finally we will move to the next slide. Actually, in this slide, what are the information we was studied in this LCAO concept? The same information, bonding and anti-bonding information only, we have represented with the wave function. We have represented with the wave function. The bonding orbital, how we are representing in the form of wave function, and anti-bonding orbital, how we are representing in the wave function. That we have learned from this slide. Then later on, we move to the how the atomic structure of an isolated silicon as well as the germanium, how the crystalline silicon lattice, correct? The crystalline silicon lattice consisting of n number of an silicon atom. When n number of an silicon atom you put together, what are the valence electron are there in the outermost shell, that energy how it will be distributed and for what purpose it will be utilizing those two kind of an energies. These things we was learned from this particular slide. With the help of this all the knowledge, finally we will move to the in the energy band, means how the band it will be forming, how the covalent bond it will be forming, how the valence band it will be forming, and how the forbidden band it will be forming. These things we was discussed in the last class. Okay, so anyone who wants to add any point regarding this topic? Priyanka, anything you want to add?
No, sir. Yes, sir. I understood now.
Okay, others?
So we also discussed about wave function.
Yeah. Rohit? Rohit? Rohit, are you there?
No, sir. Evening, sir.
Rohit, can you explain how we got these three energy bands in your silicon?
Sir, free energy bands in silicon, sir.
Can you explain detailedly how we are going to draw this diagram, where to start and where to end?
Sir, we should start from the. Sir, we should start from the innermost shell, sir. From innermost shell, we should take the negative value, and then we should come to the middle shell, sir.
Okay.
And then there, if the energy varies, then we should come to the outer shell, sir.
Okay, I am asking this slide, what you are seeing in your screen.
Yes, sir.
Will you explain how you are going to draw, where to start?
Sir, starting, sir.
Because for this topic, this diagram is the most important one.
Sir, first
for understanding this diagram, we have to do the discussion of so on so things, what we have done in the 4-5 previous slides.
Sir, first we should start with 0 electrons, sir. And then we should start.
First, we have to write the electronic configuration for the silicon. Okay, yes, so yes, just follow my cursor here, mouse cursor here. This yes, line, this horizontal line, it will be represent your 1s. The second horizontal line, it will be represent your 2s. The third horizontal line, it will be represent your 2p. The fourth horizontal line, 3s. The fifth horizontal line, it will be 3s. Okay, yes, this diagram, it will be shows the graph of electron energy versus interatomic spacing between a two atom. Interatomic spacing between a two silicon atom. Okay, so now if I am start moving from left to right, I mean how the distance it will be increasing or decreasing? If I am start moving from origin, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is the origin, right? From the origin, I have start moving towards the right hand side. if I am start moving towards the right hand side horizontally, interatomic spacing between the two atoms, it's increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
Increasing or
Alright.
decreasing? Just check it out. I am moving
Increasing,
towards
sir.
the right.
Increasing, sir. Sorry, increasing.
Yeah, it will be
That's
increasing.
sir.
Yeah. So because of that, I am starting drawing this particular diagram from left to right. Left to right means initially interatomic spacing between a two atom is very high.
Yes, sir.
Interatomic spacing between a two atom is very high. When you have maintained that particular distance, there is no chance for an one silicon atom to another silicon atom for interacting. Okay, so hence simply I have drawn this horizontal line. Just check it out here. Simply I have drawn. Okay, there is no
Yes, sir.
simply I have drawn the horizontal means there is no interaction between the any orbital between two silicon atoms. Okay, so at this particular stage, when you start decreasing the distance between the two atoms, when you start decreasing the distance between the two atoms, in the silicon there are three layers are there, three orbits are there. First orbit, second orbit, third orbit. Even the first orbit consisting of an only one subshell, second orbit consisting of an two subshell, third orbit consisting of an three subshell. Anyway, out of three subshell in the third orbit, one subshell is there is no electron at all, that is d subshell. Anyway, leave about that. Even in the third orbit also, right now for the silicon, only two subshells are there. One is 3s, the another one is the 3p. Now my question is, when I start decreasing the distance between a two atom, which orbital or which suborbital it start interacting soon compared to 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p? Which subshell it will be start interacting?
3p.
Yeah, 3p first, then 3s. 3p first, then 3s. So only in this diagram, in the silicon, we call 10 core electron. 10 core electron means what are the electrons are present in the first orbit and what are the electrons are present in the second orbit. These orbitals are not interacting much because of this two orbital is very closely bounded to the nuclei. Very closely bounded to the nuclei. Now you can ask a question, this first orbital and second orbital is not at all interacting. Yes, it will be interacting. Yes, it will be interacting, but when we are keeping the distance between the two atoms is very minimal. Just check it out here, very minimal. Very minimal means just check it out, the 2s and 2p, where it will be started the branching means we called as an interacting. Correct. So when you are keeping very minimum distance between the two atoms, then only the intercore or first core or the second orbital it will be start interacting. Okay, but anyway, here we not need this discussion. Anyway, we will see the outermost layer, 3s and 3p. The 3s and 3p it will be start interacting when you try to decrease as the spacing between a two atom. Okay, and this it will be start interacting. Just check it out, the branches, and when the 3s and 3p it will be merged means what? This process we are called as an this two suborbital merging. ಈ process ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ?
Hybridization.
Orbital hybridization. What is the purpose of doing the orbital hybridization? Can you tell me the advantages of orbital hybridization? 1 or 2 point? Energy and shape of the electron it will be changing. Energy of the electron and shape of the orbital it will be changing. Just check it out. Due to the interaction, due to the hybridization, it will be forming like this. Then you keep on decreasing the distance between the two atoms. Once again it will be start interacting. Correct. In such a way that you have to draw this graph, particularly this graph, energy level in silicon as a function of interatomic spacing. You start from the right and you end with the left. Okay, so now just check it out how the 4n electrons always it will be staying in the valence band. Why the 4n state always it will be empty in the conduction band? For that question, you will get an answer here. Okay, so in the 3s, totally 2n state available states are there. 2n stand for when you are bringing n number of an silicon atom together. N number of an silicon atom together. 2n states are available in the 3s. Out of 2n state, 2n electron are filled out of out. Okay, in 3p totally 6n states are there, but unfortunately in the silicon only 2n electron states are filled. 4n states are vacant. 4n states are vacant. After done the hybridization process, before the hybridization, this is the status. Before the hybridization, this is the status. After the hybridization, this two it will be added up. This two it will be added up. Now the available state is 8n, but the filled electron is 4n electron. Available state is 8n state, but filled electron is only 4n state. This 4n electron, it will be accumulated in this particular band, correct? So this band only we are called as an valence band, and this band only we are called as an conduction band, and this band only we are called as an forbidden band or energy gap. Okay, so before defining what is metal, what is insulator, what is semiconductor, we are telling a one common definition. Initially at 0 degree Kelvin, the valency band consisting of an full of electron. In the conduction band, it will be empty. Those electron it will be entering to the conduction band. Those electron it will be helping us to conduction of an current. This information we are telling in those definitions and all, right? That information we will get from this diagram only. Based on this diagram, based on this concept, now we are moving to define what is metal, what is semiconductor, and what is insulator with respect to energy band. With respect to energy band. Any doubt in this particular diagram? This diagram is very important for the coming topics.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ 4n ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ 4n ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಐತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇರೋದು?
ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್?
4n ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ 4n ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್.
ಎಸ್.
ಇವಾಗ 2n ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ 2n ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್, ಬರೀ ಒಂದೇ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ತಾನೇ ಸರ್?
ಓಕೆ.
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಲೈನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
Where we are showing the two lines? I'm not getting your point.
3s2 sir.
Now once again check it out. This line is your 3s. This line your 3p. It's correct?
Yes sir.
Yeah. In 3s, maximum electron it will be accommodating only 2 electron, right? 3s2. As per your electronic configuration, 3s2, only 2 electron can accommodate. For n atoms, it will be 2n states are there. Out of 2n state, 2n electron it will be filled for silicon. You got this point, this particular point initially?
Yes sir.
Yeah. The same way for 3p, totally 6 electron can accommodate. For n atoms, it will be 6n available states. 6n available state. But in your silicon, only 2n electrons are filled. Only 2n electron are filled out of 6n. Still 4n states are vacant. Okay. So now when you start decreasing the interatomic distance between the two atoms, the 3s and 3p, it will be start interacting. That interacting only we are called as an hybridization. Before the hybridization, I mean, what are the status we have mentioned here? It will be same. Out of 6n, only 2n will be filled. So here in 3s, 2n state, out of 2n state, 2n it will be filled. After the hybridization, this band and this band, it will be get merged. This band and this band, it will be get merged. After the merging, before the hybridization, what are the status it will be there? It will be get added up. Okay. So 3s, totally 2n states are there. In 3p, totally 6n states are there. 6n plus 2n, total available state is 8n states. Total available state is 8n state. Even the electron, the accumulated electron is also it will be get added up. In the 3s, 2n electrons it will be occupied. In the 3p, 2n electrons it will be occupied. 2n plus 2n, totally 4n electrons are occupied out of 8n states. Out of 8n state. Now the total 8n available state, it will be splitted once again. If you keep on decreasing the interatomic spacing, this 8n state, it will be splitting like 4n state and 4n state. The lower 4n state you are called as an electron band and valence band. The upper 4n state you are called as an conduction band.
Sir, ಅದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ 2 ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇವಾಗ ಬರೀ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ 2 ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ತಾನೆ ಸರ್?
This one, what I am showing in the cursor, this one you are telling, right?
ಸರ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ 4n states 4n electrons ಅಂತ ಐತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
Exactly, this one.
ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಐತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಐತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
This one and this one, right?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ನಾಲ್ಕು ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ತರ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕ?
No. Yeah, these are all the 4 line. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this 4 line, how many bands are there? Bands, energy levels, energy layers. Just check it out, the layers. I will give you one simple example, okay? In a hand, just you have just project your 4 fingers. In the left hand, it's in the right hand, correct? So in that 4 fingers, how many gaps are there in between? Just check it out, how many gaps are there? There are 3 gaps, right?
Yes sir.
Yeah, the same way there are 4 lines are there. When I am going to define a band, this 2 line I am using for representing a 1 band, this 2 line I am using for defining a 1 band, and this 2 line I am using to defining a 1 band. There are 3 bands are there. Out of these 3 band, I have to give a naming to those bands, right? The lower band I am called as an valence band. The upper band I am called as an conduction band. In between the valence and conduction band, there is a gap. That gap we are called as an forbidden band. Will you understood?
Yes.
These 4 lines
yes,
we
sir.
did drawn after the hybridization process. When you start keep on decreasing the interatomic distance between the 2 atoms, you will get these 4 lines. We didn't draw that. How the hybridization it will be takes place? The same thing I have represented here.
Yes, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್.
Okay, you got my point.
Yes sir, I got.
Okay, now using this concept, we will move to the definition of an metal, semiconductor and insulator. This definition you people are very much aware, because of in the school levels only you people have learned this definition, metal, semiconductor and insulator, as well as you know much of examples for metal, semiconductor as well as insulator. Every day in the daily life we are using this all the things and all, right? Correct. So now anyone, can you tell me what is metal, what is semiconductor and what is insulator? Normally in your examination they will ask for 6 marks, 2 marks each. Metal 2 marks, semiconductor 2 marks, insulator 2 marks. Along with the energy band you have to give the definition. That's all. Very simple.
Sir, metals are the materials which allow the flow of electricity to pass through them.
Flow of charge carriers through it. Flow of charge carriers. When the electric charge, it will be moving from one point to another point. That process only we are called as an current. I am correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
Yeah. Tell me once again.
Metals are the materials which allow the flow of charge carriers through them.
Through them. Yes, for its current conduction. Those material we are called as an metal. Correct?
Yes,
or conductor. Simply you can call it as an conductors. Correct? So can you give some example for conductor?
Copper, silver.
Copper, silver, aluminum, gold, platinum. These are all the example for the metals or conductors. Okay. The same metals we have that concept if we represented in terms of an energy band diagram. This is the diagram.
Yes.
Okay, overlap. Initially, the conduction band and valence band, it will be overlapped in the metal, correct? So now, I actually, what are the things I wanted to add? Nimge basic definitions ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. What is metal, what is semiconductor, and what is insulator, and what are the energy gaps in the semiconductor, and what is the energy gap in the insulator, and what is the energy gap in the metal. This all the concept you people are aware, correct? But I mean, just only few things I wanted to add along with those, the information what you are already have, correct? So in the metal, just check it out. The conduction band and valence band is overlapped. The conduction band and valence band is overlapped. Can you tell me what is the Eg value in the metal? What is the Eg value in the metal?
0.
It will be 0. Yeah, your answer is correct. Now, just check it out. Can you differentiate these three bands? This is first band, conduction band. This is the valence band. This overlapped one, the darkened one, this is the forbidden gap actually. But anyway, in the metal, it will be merged. In the metal, it will be merged, correct? So now, what are the electrons? It will be there in the overlapping area. What are the electrons? It will be there in the overlapping area. This electron, it will be do the job of conduction of current as well as valency stabilization work. Conduction as well as valency stabilization. And what are the electrons? It will be present in the valence band. It will be do only the valency job. It is not able to do the conduction until unless if you provide an additional energy. If you provide additional energy. Can you understood what is meant by valence work? Valency stabilization work? Anyone, will you brief? What is valency stabilization work?
Sir, can you repeat, sir?
Yeah. Easily you can distinguish the three layers in the metal. This is the conduction, this is the valency, and this is the overlapping area. Okay. So now easily you can identify the electron is present in the overlapping area also, and the electron it will be present in the valence band area also. What are the electron? It will be present in the valence overlapping area. This electron is ready at 0 degree Kelvin. I am speaking at 0 degree Kelvin. What are the electron? It will be present in the overlapping area. This electron are ready to do a two type of an job. The first type of job is conduction. First type of job is conduction. The second type of job is valency stabilization work. The second one, what are the electron? It will be present in the valence band. This electron, it will be do, or it will be capable to do only valency stabilization work. Okay, until unless if you not provide a additional energy to those valency band electrons, it not do a conduction work. It not do a conduction work. Now, can you explain what is valency stabilization work? You can use this diagram for giving that statement. What is meant by valency stabilization work? Yesterday very detailedly we was discussed. How the energy it will be categorized in the valence electron. Anyone? Mukesh? Anyone?
Sir.
Yeah, please tell me what is
Sir,
valence stabilization? Yeah.
Sir, the achievement of 8 electrons in the outermost shell.
Yes, that only we are called as an valency stabilization. That's all. How the valence shell it will get the 8 electron? Little elaborate your answer.
By sharing electrons or donating electrons, receiving electrons.
From the neighbor silicon atom. Correct. So
here sharing electrons.
Exactly. Your answer is correct. What are the electrons are there in the valency shell? That electron energy we are categorizing into and two types. The first category of an energy, the electron, it will be utilizing only for roaming around the same axis, roaming around the same orbit. The second category of an electron, energy of electron, little bit having an higher energy compared to the previous set of an energy. Those electron, while roaming around the same axis, it will be start moving to the neighbor atom valence shell. It will be start moving towards the valence orbit of the neighbor atom in such a way that the valency stabilization, it will be happen at 0 degree Kelvin of the crystalline lattice. Crystalline lattice. Okay, that what we called as an valency job. That we called as an valency job. ಈ ವೇಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಗಳು just it will be do the valency job. Valency job means the one electron, it will be shifting to the neighbor in such a way that that particular orbital, it will be become stabilized. Okay, but what are the electron it having? Yesterday in the last class only I was told, okay, when you are going to change the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin to 300 degree Kelvin, 0 degree Kelvin to 300 degree Kelvin, that time what are the valence electron is there in the outermost orbital, it will get an additional energy, okay, due to that thermal, correct? So once the electron it get an additional energy, it nowhere wants to stay in the valence orbit of the silicon, it will be coming out of that particular orbit, correct? So once it will be coming out of that orbit, it will be moving randomly with high speed, correct? So that electron only we are called as a free electron. Only the free electron, it will be helping us to conduction of current, helping us to conduction of an current. That only I am trying to explain here. Just check it out. There are, can you see the layer of an electron here? First line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line. There are 6 lines are there in the valency band. The same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines are there in the overlapping area. Correct? Overlapping area. As you people are aware, when electron, it will be start moving towards upward direction. It will be start moving towards upward direction. The electron energy, it will goes on. It will be goes on increases. The electron energy, it will be goes on increases. I told what are the electron, it will be there in the only in the valency shell, that it will be capable to do only valency work. It is not helping us to conduction of an current until unless if you provide an additional energy. Okay, but just check it out, what are the electrons are there in the overlapping area. Those electron having an additional energy or more energy than the valence band electron. What are the electrons are present in the overlapping area? Those electron having an higher energy compared to valence band electrons.
Yes, sir.
Exactly, because of the overlapping area is above the valence band, right? Correct. So if the electron, it will be moving away or it moving upward, means the electron energy, it will be high. So just check it out. There are 1, 2, 3, 6 plus 5, totally 11 layers are there. Now compare 0th layer to 11th layer. Which layer having an highest energy? Which layer electron having an highest energy? 0th layer or 11th layer?
11.
11th layer, correct? So obviously this 11th layer electron, nowhere, no longer it want to stay in the same orbit, in the outermost orbit. It will be coming out, it will be act like a free electron. Only those free electron, it will be help us to do a conduction, correct? So hence only this particular electron, it will be helping us to conduction of an current. This electron simply it will doing the valency work. Once you change the temperature, even this electron, it is also, it will be coming to the conduction band and it will be supporting us to conduction of an current, correct? So these are all the things it will be happen in the metal. Okay, fine. Next, coming to the insulator. Coming to the insulator, can you tell me what is the energy gap for the insulator? Approximated value for energy gap in the insulator?
7 electron volts.
7
Electron volts.
Yeah, 7 electron. In some of the textbook, they are given 5 electron volt, greater than 5 electron, greater than 7 electron, something like that. One textbook, they are giving one number, or generally you can call greater than 5 electron volt. In the insulator, the energy gap value, it will be greater than 5 electron volt. Why I have taken only 5? You can take 3 also, no problem. Electron Eg, it will be greater than 3 electron volt. There is no wrong. There is no wrong in that. It's correct. Greater than 3 electron volt. Why I am telling 3? Why I am taken the numerical value 3, greater than 3? I will tell you the reason for that also. Correct. So now initially how the electron distribution will be in the insulator, just check it out. Here also there are 3 bands are there. One is valency band, the middle one is the energy gap band, the third one is the conduction band. Initially the valency band consisting of and full of electrons. Valency band consisting of and full of valence electron. The conduction band consisting of an initially at 0 degree Kelvin,
0 electron.
it will be 0 electron. Totally 4 n states for in VB, 4 n state for CB. In VB, 4 n out of 4 n it will be filled. For CB, out of 4 n only 0 states are filled. Correct. So now as usual, now I start giving an thermal energy. Thermal energy means I have started increasing the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin to some degree Celsius. Let us take room temperature 25 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius or 1000 degrees Celsius, something like that. In the insulator, it is possible as to give an energy to valence band electrons to jumping from this band to this band. It's possible in the insulator. But in the semiconductor, it is true. When you're providing an additional energy means thermal energy, changing and temperature from 0 degree Kelvin to 300 degree Kelvin. Automatically, few electron, it will be start moving from valence band to conduction band. What are the electron? It will be moving from valence band to conduction band. That electron, it will be supporting us to conduction of an current. So hence, the semiconductor, it will be act like an conductor when you are providing an additional energy. In the initial state or in the 0 degree Kelvin, your semiconductor, it will be act like an insulator. The known definition it is. Correct? But my question is, it is possible as to give an energy to the valence band electrons to in the insulator to jump the energy gap value. If it is jump, definitely even insulator is also will become conductor.
No, sir, it's not possible.
It's not possible. Why it is not
Yes, sir.
possible?
Because
Why
it
it
might
is not
break
possible?
physical conditions.
High energy.
Material, sir. Because of that material, composite.
Yeah. Now you can take the example for the insulator. Plastic, if you wanted to take, yes, you can take it. Or glass you wanted to take, okay, you can take it. Wood you wanted to take, okay, you can take it. This all the 3 products or all these 3 things, it will be come under the insulator, right? Glass, plastic, wood. I am correct? I am correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For anything, for everything, some limitation it will be there. For anything, for everything, you can take any active element. It may be a diode, or it may be a transistor, or it may be a JFET, or it may be a MOSFET, whatever it may be. Not only those active element, you can take real time, whatever in your bike, car, or whatever. Some limitations it will be there. Correct? So how means even what are the electron, it will be there in the valency band, it will accept the energy in terms of an thermal. In terms of an thermal, when you start changing the temperature, automatically the electron, the energy levels in the valence electron, it will be start increasing. It will be start increasing. Up to what extent it will be withdrawing the energy from the thermal, or it will be absorb the energy from the due to process of an thermal,
Until it breaks.
until it will be break. That is the limitation what I told. Correct. So what are the electrons? It will be there in the valence band. It will be accept the energy in terms of whatever it may be. In terms of whatever, simply changing the temperature ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ you can provide an additional power supply to that ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, whatever it may be, up to 2.5 electron volt of an energy it will be accepting. Up to 2.5 electron volt of an energy it will be accepting. Correct. So if you try to provide more than that energy while keep on increasing the temperature, your plastic, it will be start melting. Even your glass is also, it will be start melting. Your wood, it will be start burning. Your wood, it will be start burning. Correct. So from this process, one thing I got to know that I never convert insulator into an conductor. I am not able to convert insulator into an conductor because of when I am trying to give and more energy to the electron what is there in the valency shell, if I exceed 2.5 electron volt energy, the electron it will be burnt off. The electron it will be burnt off. That element physical status it will be changing. Correct. So hence we never, not at all, converting or turning insulator into an semiconductor or conductor, whatever. Correct. So hence insulator is always a insulator. Okay. So now the last one, coming to the semiconductor. Anyone can you define the semiconductor? What is semiconductor? Semi.
Under normal conditions, it will act as the insulator, and when it exceeds the temperature or changes in the state, it will change into conductor, work as a conductor.
Yes. What is the Eg value for silicon?
1 electron volts.
1.2 electron volt. At 0 degree Kelvin, 1.2 electron volt. Okay. At room temperature? At room temperature, 1.1 electron volt. At room temperature, 1.1 electron volt. At 0 degree Kelvin, it will be 1.2 electron volt. The same way for the germanium, 0.74 electron volt at the 0 degree Kelvin, 0.66 or 0.68 in the 300 degree Kelvin. Okay, this is the energy gap in the silicon as well as it is in the germanium. Correct. I already told the what are the electron it will be there in the valency band, it will be accepting the additional energy up to 2.5 electron volt, up to 2.5 electron volt. For crossing this energy band, how much energy we required? Only 1.1, only 1.2 electron volt of an energy. Correct. So if you give up to 2 electron volt energy to your valence, I mean what are the electron it will be there in the valency band, all the electron it will be start moving from valency band to conduction band. Once the electron it will be moving from valency band into conduction band, those electron, what are the electron it will be shifting or diffusing from valence band into conduction band, those electron it will be helping us to conduction of an current. In that situation, your semiconductor it will be act like an conductor. It will be act like an conductor at 0 degree Kelvin without providing any additional energy. All the electron it will be stay simply in the valency band, and conduction band it will be completely empty. So there is no current conduction at all. It is clear. So hence this type of an materials we are called as an semiconductor. Initially it will be in the initial condition at 0 degree Kelvin it will be insulator. When you are changing the temperature to an room degree temperature, room degree Celsius, automatically it will be act like an conductor. Automatically it will be act like an conductor. Okay. So this extra informations you have to include in the I mean what are the information you people already known in the last semester or last year subjects and all. Okay. So anything you people wanted to add to this topic? If you know something else or extra, you people can add it. No problem for that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in case of insulator, when the temperature is increased to maximum extent, like its melting point, like that, sir, like it can be converted to conductor also, no, sir, in that case?
No, that only I am telling to you. The maximum energy accepting level of an electrons, what are the electrons present in the valency band? It will be only 2.5 electron volt. Only 2.5 electron volt. You can increase the temperature how much you require. And ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 1000 degree Celsius ಬೇಕಾ 2000 degree Celsius ಬೇಕಾ, you can. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಧಾನಗಳಿದಾವೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ಗಳಿದಾವೆ ಫಾರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಹೈ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನಾನು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ನ ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 2.5 electron volt. If you trying to give more
Sir.
than that,
You-
that electron itself, it will be burnt out. That only I told. So hence, the
Sir.
insulator never it will be converted as a conductor. We are
ಸರ್
not
ಪ್ರೆಷರ್
able
ಎಲ್ಲ
to
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
yeah.
ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾನೆ ಸರ್, ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾನೆ ಸರ್.
ನಾ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಈ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 3 electron volt ಅಲ್ವೇನಪ್ಪ? The energy gap in between the valence band and conduction band is greater than 3 electron volt, correct? So how much energy you have to give to the electron for jumping from this band to this band? More than 3 electron volt. But what is the limitation of the energy acceptance level of the electron? It is only 2.5. If you wanted to give more than that, that system it will be burnt out. ಸುಟ್ಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟರ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. That is the reason. Up to till now, what the statement you people have studied, you keep on increasing the temperature, the electron never coming from valence band to conduction band. Hence, this kind of a material we are called as an insulator anta helta idvi. But why the valence electron is never coming from valence band to conduction band anadke, this is the reason. The maximum energy acceptance level of the electron in the valency band, it will be only 2.5 electron volt. If you try to give more than that, the system it will be burnt off. The physical shape it will be changing that particular material. Hence, insulator is always an insulator. Okay, any other point you wanted to add? Anyone?
Sir, what about we can make it as a